Hello, welcome. My name is Martinez-McGraw. This is my case study on who should create the school's mission vision. So a little bit about it. Section 1, kind of what's happening. It's a rural school district called Lightville Community School District. Serves two predominantly rural townships, and just over 60% of residents live on farms. The system has two schools, elementary facility housing grades K through 6, and a junior senior high facilitating housing grades 7 through 12. So the elementary school opened 22 years ago, and the secondary school was constructed 11 years later, so 11 years ago. 25 years ago, the district official enrollment was 758 students. Now it's just over 1,200 students and increasing at about a rate of 2% per year. When the junior senior high school facility first opened, most residents believed that no additional construction would be needed for at least 40 years. But 15 years before their prediction, it looks like they need a new school. So, a lot of influx, so they needed to go ahead and look at getting a new school. Two of the 5 board members were relatively new residents with children enrolled in the district, and they vigorously promoted the idea of building a new middle school to alleviate space problems at 2 existing schools. Section 1 continued. The idea of building a separate middle school quickly became controversial. The firm, working in conjunction with an education planner, identified 3 possible solutions. Number 1, build an addition to the junior senior high school, move the 6th grade from the elementary facility to the junior senior high school facility. Number 2, build additions to both existing schools. Number 3, build a new middle school housing grades 6 through 8, thus removing the 6th grade from the elementary school and 7th and 8th grade from the secondary school. So Susan Potters was the new principal that was hired. Her employment at the Lightville started officially August 1st, approximately 12 months before the school year. The new school would become operational. A committee was formed to create philosophy, mission, and vision. So kind of who was involved? Mrs. Potter, she's a new principal. She needs to hire the staff to help with opening a new building. Helen Burke is the head of the committee chair. Mr. Rawlings is superintendent of the district. School board, the school advisory team. So some legal and ethical issues. There really aren't any legal issues that are being faced. A lot of ethical issues I can see. Getting everyone from the community support and input would build a culture, and the community should be represented. I feel like reading a lot of this case, there wasn't a lot of community involvement. And I think that that's a huge piece of a district and especially a school. I mean, you got students from that community going to that specific school 90% of the time. So I think the community should be very well included. Section 3, synthesize. So kind of what's going on is after being hired at the school, which the building is being newly built, Mrs. Potter is working with the community to come up with a vision and mission statement, and also the school's philosophy. She was informed that that she would be the main creator of these things. She wants others' inputs and also community involvement. So some missing facts. Some people that we might be missing are new staff, community involvement. Don't really know much about that. Some places missing. The location of the school and resources that are around are unknown. And then some programs missing as we didn't get a lot of the school board policies or any building information such as building policies or anything like that. So review and prioritize some information. So Mrs. Potter is hired as the new principal. The district voted to build a new school to accommodate increasing student population. An advisory committee is formed, but Mrs. Potter did not organize it. Mrs. Potter and the community do not agree on the vision, mission, and philosophies. The committee votes for Mrs. Potter to do this all on her own, and Mrs. Potter wants the community's input. So kind of if I were to put Mrs. Potter's shoes, how would I handle the situation? So I would be very ethical and practical, upfront, honest. I believe that's 100% of the battle. And if you don't get those things, then it's just not going to work. I would learn more about the staff. I would learn more about the community and also learn about their values and kind of what they want, and the kind of school they might want. I would want to learn more about the district's values. I would want to meet with the community and see if we could work together and collaborate. I would form my own committee to set clear expectations if an existing committee did not work out. So kind of evaluating my plan and assessing pros and cons. Some of the pros is, being ethical and practical go a long ways. Being open and honest, working hard to meet my goals, and it will all be worth it at the end. Some of the cons is all around change. Change can be good, also bad, but in a small area like that, I feel like change isn't going to be good because people aren't used to it. Lack of communication are always problems. Making sure everyone is all on board, which kind of ties into lack of communication, and then a lot of bridges and barriers that you have to overcome. So, kind of developing my plan. I developed my plan by considering everyone that are involved or may be affected by the situation and the decisions: staff, students, teachers, and community. I would make sure the community and I are all in agreement on which mission, vision, and philosophies that will be in place. Overall, my goal is to have student and staff success by involving the community and getting everyone involved. So, the implementation of my plan. I would like to have a committee of people that represent the district, building a community. I believe that will help build school culture. So something I really like is, including staff that are in the building, including community members. But I think it's really important to involve maybe some students, maybe your student body president or kind of whatever student government kind of organization that school has. I believe that students' inputs are very crucial. Just a quick example is 5 years ago we kind of not started our own school, but got a new principal. Kind of changed. We got our actual alternative licensing license through our state, so we were classified as an actual alternative high school. So our principal wanted to come up with the mascot and school colors. So we actually had a local college's graphic design program here work in conjunction with our students, and our students were able to vote on our mascot and also our school colors. And the buy-in and kind of the culture that built, it sounds so silly, but just what how the students viewed that was so big and important. And I kind of learned that from coaching is, just having nice gear or cool shirts or hoodies. The kids really care about that kind of stuff. So a lot of that stuff sounds silly, but it works out at the end. So I think having just a student around or a couple students that have a say will mean a lot too. I believe building strong relationships with everyone from the district and community. Also, I'd expect the committee that I chose to follow and strictly adhere to all expectations that we have set forth. And I believe that we will be ethical when following these expectations. If the plan is implemented with fidelity, then we will get the best vision, mission, and philosophies for our school that are possible. Kind of standard correlation. This allowed me to, collaboratively evaluate, communicate a mission and vision designed to reflect the core set of values and priorities within the school. I was able to lead the improvement process that includes data use, design, implementation, and evaluation. Being able to study what happened and how I could develop a plan helped me out tremendously as a future building leader. The relevance of this assignment to my current learning, it's very relevant because it gave me a chance to experience a situation that can definitely happen as a building leader. Oftentimes we see committees being formed and building leaders. The building leader does not always have a say. This assignment allowed me to learn and create a vision, mission, and develop a plan how to implement it. And I had to look at possible barriers that may arise also. So I know within our school district, there's always committees and there's always a lot of new things going on. And especially I feel like with a lot of that COVID money that's just been recently happened, there's a lot of new construction, a lot of new developments and just a lot of change overall. So I feel like a committee and a principal don't always get along and there could be issues. Also, same kind of with the school board. I kind of see that as a committee. But just gotta always know that that's going to come up as a building leader. Then reflection. This assignment in class altogether will help me as a future building leader by allowing me to put things in perspective that I may not have thought of before. Going into this, I never really cared or known the importance of mission and vision statements, but now I know, and this case study really helped me understand the issues that may happen or arise as a future building leader. So this class helped out a lot. I learned a lot from it. It was a quick class, but I learned a lot, and I think this will definitely help me as a future building leader. And thank you everyone for allowing me to have a good time in this class, and appreciate it. And thank you for listening to my presentation. This is my references, and have a good day and rest of your summer. And see you guys.